Hey guys, how's it going? It's Mr. The Wow Factor here, and I'm bringing you some more F1 2013 gameplay today. So as you can see, jumping right into it on the screen, there is a setup. Pause it at any of the screens if you wish to copy the setup. It's very sensitive. Yeah, it's got a lot of oversteer, but if you can learn to control your throttle inputs, it works out very nicely, as you will see in the video. So moving on from the setup now, I will show you the standings. As you can see, I'm starting in 22nd place, and the reason why that is I did practice, but I didn't actually qualify. But starting on the options there, and on lap 5 we'll be coming in for primes, and we're on the aggressive fuel strategy, so heading right out onto the track now. And yeah, we'll be starting from the back of the grid in a Williams at Abu Dhabi. So we'll see what comes of this race. I wasn't expecting too much, and I wasn't expecting to start at the back of the grid actually. I was putting in my best times in practice, and then I thought that if I skipped to the race that it would just use my time and put me around where everybody else was. But no, I'm starting from the back of the grid, and we will see what we can make of the race. So as you can see now, testing my steering inputs just to make sure that everything's okay, and despite running the aggressive fuel strategy, we somehow still have +1 lap of fuel, but 5 lights are on, and we are away. Obviously just getting onto the optimal fuel right there, but still, we should be under-fueling a car, not keeping it at optimal level. But going into the first corner now, diving it around the outside, and bouncing off Gutierrez, I think that was, and as you can see, just spinning the wheels, the car going sideways completely, losing out on a fair few positions. But P19 now going around the outside of Vandergaard, and then around the outside of Chilton, and then the outside of Bianchi, and then braking really late, taking some of the front ring. I'm not even sure who that was, but taking some of his front ring. But as you can see, everything is just like bouncing off each other, everyone's going sideways, things are just all up in the air. But heading down the long straight at the back of the course now, and we're in P9. So we've made up a fair few positions. We're into the points actually, so not bad of a start so far. And coming in here, you got to brake very heavily, and I don't even know what happened there, just slamming right into the back of Raikkonen, losing a lot of my front wing there. But there you go, making up 2 more positions right there. But yeah, I don't know what happened with that braking zone. I thought I broke appropriately. I don't know if I just didn't apply pressure, or the way that my wheels are, or that my pedals are configured. If you press both of them at the same time, it registers as no input, so I may have been pressing the accelerator a little bit, and then it hasn't actually registered that I'm trying to brake. But yeah, as you saw, just barreling straight into the back of Raikkonen there. So I'm just going to show you guys the whole first lap, and then from then on it's highlights for the rest of the 13. But it looks like we're going to be crossing the line in 7th place after the first lap, so not too bad of a position considering we started in 22nd place. Alright, so coming across the line here, what will we set? What's going to be the lap time? Sliding it around that corner actually, a 1:54.4. But coming down now on the back of Webber, really catching up to him, under braking there, and heading down here. A lot of wheel spin for Webber, so I immediately had the traction advantage, but he still seems to have gotten away considering he's in a Red Bull and I'm in Williams. But yeah, we'll see if we can dive it down his inside, just under brake, and as you can see there, pulling it off nicely. A lot of smoke in the air, but yeah, getting around that corner nicely, and again in the same position on 1 lap later, now behind Massa instead of Webber, so in P6 currently. Again, the same sort of strategy I'm running with here. I'm just trying to dive it down that inside, but getting DRS on this straight actually. I was fortunate enough to get that, but as you can see, tyres starting to wear, so things are getting a little bit riskier. These tyres tend to drop off the cliff quite early, but again, diving down Massa, and on the same lap now, just barreling into the back of Hamilton again, and pushing him wide. It was probably an illegal overtake, but I couldn't chance it, I couldn't let him back through. In a Williams, I had no choice, I have to do what I gotta do, you know. And again, the same spot a lap later, on the back of Vettel now. This isn't so much of an illegal overtake as it is just a little love tap on his rear end there, but sliding it out, losing traction because of that. And now we're in P3 behind Alonso and Hamilton, but coming around the front of the course now, we're going to be pitting on this lap, lap 5, and diving it down Alonso's inside there, just trying to force him wide, and we get around the corner right on the back of Rosberg now, and yeah, cut the corner, making the track like 50 million miles shorter. But nevertheless getting away, and I believe we'll get DRS on this straight as well. But coming in now for pit stop, we're about to head in. We'll see what happens here. It's quite interesting. as you will see. But again, lap 5 pitting, our tyres very, very worn, and me of all people will manage to just not make it into the pit stop and decide to drive straight fucking past it. So luckily we got reset, but now we're in P7 heading into the pits when we should have been in P1. And will that have a drastic effect on the race? Will it affect where I finish? I hope not. Obviously I know the result, but yeah, so let's see how long it's going to take him to swap from the worn options onto a new set of primes. Obviously changing the front wing as well. I think that's a 5.631 there. Yeah, I had to change the front wing because we broke it barreling into the back of Raikkonen, unfortunately. But now we're on cold prime, so not the most grip in the world, but as you can see, coming out of pit lane, we're in P15. So we'll see. Obviously we went for the undercut strategy, as you saw, no one else pitted on the same lap. But on lap 6 now, on the back of Duresta, and I tend to like this position because the AI seems to get a lot of wheel spin off that line. But the Williams is faster than Force India anyway, but getting DRS and just absolutely flying past him there, so not a problem in the world there. We're 6 seconds behind Gutierrez, obviously no one's pitted yet, but as you can see, coming down the main straight now, just trying to see how many positions we can pick up from people that are pitting. So we're up into P11 so far. It looks like it's going to stay that way. Yeah, it's going to be P11, so on lap 7 we're in P11, not too bad. There's some more pit stops to happen, and going down the outside of Rosberg now, he's on colder tyres, on colder primes, so he's taking it easy, but just completely outbraking myself there. Just trying to hold on to that position, tyres squealing, everything just not working. Tyres full of marbles, but we're in P10 now, diving it down the inside of Gutierrez now, and Vettel just absolutely sliding out of that corner, but we still didn't manage to make up too much ground on him. But as you can see, pretty much 3 consecutive corners in a row, Vettel, the #1 driver on the grid, just managing to spin his wheels and just lose traction, so he's not adapting to his cold primes yet, but making up 2 positions there, diving down the inside of Vettel and going past all these people in the pits. Again, you're going to pick up a lot more positions. Let's see where we'll end up. It looks like it'll be P4. Yeah, it should end up being P4. Yeah, so lap 8, P4, not too bad. Probably could have been better had I not have driven outside it. And oh my god, when that happened in the race, I swear to god, I shat my pants. I was ready to not throw my controller because I'm using a wheel, but yeah, I was ready to get infuriated. But running purple and getting on down the inside of Alonso there, so splitting the Ferraris in half now. So P3 on lap 9, trying to get down the back of Massa. And it took me all the way till lap 13 with worn primes to get down the back and just breathe down the neck of Massa, but probably cutting the corner and just forcing him wide. He had no choice. I didn't push him, there was no contact made. He drove himself off the track because he's an idiot. And yeah, so on lap 14 now, coming around the last final corners, our primes fully worn almost. Hamilton, as you will see, goes across to finish the race, and we head across the line now. There you go, we finished in P2 from P22 after 14 laps at Abu Dhabi. And yeah, a very good race in my opinion. I performed better than I expected, but again, had I have managed to drive into the pits when I should have, I probably would have actually, you know, finished first. But here you can see celebrating as I was when I finished the race. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.